All right, we're going to get started with a question from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic, followed by Kellen Olsen.
Thanks, Palmer. Appreciate it. Coach, just your initial impressions of the first game. Obviously, trying to figure out, combinations and things of that sort, first preseason game. Your overall thoughts and impressions of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I expected some of the mistakes we had tonight. We were running in mud a little bit. As far as conditioning was concerned, as hard as we play, we kind of played against ourselves tonight. They play hard, we play hard. We had a number of mistakes, but I expected some of it just because we have a few new guys. But it was good for us because it allows us to look at the film and teach. I thought we got a bit redundant in our motion offense tonight off of makes. Kind of did the same thing. Once we reminded the guys of the different options, it actually looked really good. And so that was something that I was pleased with. We just have to get into the type of game conditioning that it's going to take for us to, not worry about our legs, but think about the reads and playing in 0.5 with the body movement, ball movement. And then defensively, we just had way too many breakdowns. Transition defense was really poor in the first half. We gave up way too many threes. The second half, I thought we were better. We had a better defensive third quarter. And so that was something that I thought was not a bad game at all. We just, we got to get into our kind of shape, which is different. And we got to get a lot of guys acclimated to the way we play.
And with Cam and Mikhail, I won't say hobble, but it looked like maybe twist the ankle, or maybe Cam had a calf. Are they good, or do you know an update on them injury wise?
No, those guys are fine. I think Cam Johnson had a bit of a calf cramp, so I think he's okay. Mikhail maybe twisted or jammed his ankle, but he was fine. But again, I mean, you try to simulate this as much as you can. Like, everybody's bodies are going to be going through it. Utah sat their guys after their starters after the first half. And, for me, it was, let's give our guys a chance to get their rhythm. And I thought we kind of got it in the third.
And just one more, just to follow up.
Learn from the film.
I'm sorry, Coach. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, because I thought you was pausing and stopping. Go ahead, Coach. My bad.
No, we just have a good opportunity to get better. We've been waiting for a while to play against, or for a week to play against someone else who played against a really good defensive team. So it's a lot to teach, a lot to grow from, and our guys will be looking forward to tomorrow's film, because we've always been a team that's learned from the film, and our guys are excited to play. Yet we got a lot of things that we have to shore up as we move forward.
Next up is Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports.
Monty, you mentioned the defense. What conceptually, when it comes to your guys' concepts, were you seeing a lack of with the breakdowns?
Guarding the ball. That was the main thing for me tonight, just the ability to stay in front of the ball. We had way too many breakdowns. There were times where we were in decent position, but we were 30, 40 feet away from the basket trying to guard guys at half court, and that's way too much space. So we got to work on our pickup points. I love the aggression, but we have to be smart. And then we fouled way too much. I thought we were reaching a lot tonight, probably because we were a bit tired. And we put them on the line 27 times, and a lot of that was just reaching. So just staying in front of the ball is something that we're going to have to get better at with this group, and not rely on weak side help or DA at the rim as much. But that's something we can do better.
All right, next up we have Cody Cunningham with Suns.com, followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Coach. Just what did you like from Jalen Smith tonight in his, he was pretty aggressive early in his first action against, NBA players?
Well, Jalen's going to have to learn how to play at the NBA pace. He's talked about how fast it can be. But I like the fact that he didn't run from it tonight. A lot of things were happening so quickly for him, and we were trying to show him his reads on the backside. He wasn't afraid to shoot the ball. He posted up one time. I think they called a turnover on him, but he looked aggressive on his post up. But I think he has to get better with the pace and playing in 0.5. And when he doesn't have the ball, go set a screen or slip to the basket. There were times where I thought he stood on the weak side offensively. Defensively, it's an adjustment for all young players. You know, knowing what to call in coverages, whether it's a switch or pick and roll coverage. And then there were times tonight when the ball went up, you know, he was staring at the ball and didn't box out. And I think a lot of that is just conditioning. You know, he didn't get a chance to play in the summer league. This is the first time he's played this kind of basketball in almost a year. And so that's tough on any young guy.
All right, Langston, we're going to get started here with a question from Brendan Clean with Bright Side of the Sun.
Hey, Langston. Just felt like when you got on the floor, you kind of made a point of getting shots up, getting open, working to create good offense. What was working for you guys, or what was kind of your mentality to come in and make an impact right away like that?
I think my biggest thing, I think with such a deep bench, is just try to get ready for my opportunity. Whenever my name is called, just be ready. And that's all I've been doing, just, you know, focusing on the game, watching from the bench, and then when my name was called, just come in and just contribute as best I can.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Langston. Monty liked the effort on defense, but noted some places, particularly on the ball, where you guys struggled. What were you seeing from the group specifically on that end?
No, I think that tonight was definitely getting our feet wet. So myself included, was a lot of opportunity where should have been in front of the ball better, could have been picking up full, just being more of a dog out there on different occasions. So definitely a lot of stuff to work on and continue to build off of this one and continue to improve.
Thanks, Langston.
All right, next up we have Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Langston, can you explain to people how someone is able to not play in the first half but be focused to the point where when you come in the second half, it's as if you had been playing earlier in the game? How does one do that?
I mean, my whole career has always been like that. You know, being undrafted and never not being ready for the opportunity. And I think that's my biggest thing, is like taking it one step at a time, one moment at a time, one, you know, opportunity at a time. And it's like, it doesn't matter if I play 1 minute or I play 15 minutes. Like I'm gonna be ready for that opportunity when the coach called my name and go in there and compete my butt off. So that's my mentality always. And you got to have an underdog mindset at all times.
And just to follow it up, what improvements do you and the guys want to see in game 2 against Utah that from game 1?
I think the biggest thing was, especially, you know, throughout the whole game, they got a lot of 3-pointers up. I mean, the first half they had about 32, I want to say, and we gave up a lot of like open looks, rotation, being able to execute our defensive plan and limit them from that standpoint, and then just continue to build. I think that tonight was a great, you know, foundation. You know, we still lost, but I think the foundation is there. So now we got to build off of that and continue to keep getting better.
Hey, Book, your general thoughts on the game tonight, how you guys played. It looked like you certainly came out aggressive.
Yeah, you know, just getting our feet underneath us. You know, we're excited for this time, you know, to get to match up against somebody other in our own team. But obviously some things to work on. We have some good film that we can watch and learn from. So, you know, overall, there's good times in there and good and bad times. But, you know, that's what you should expect for now. But, you know, I think we're going to get better.
And to follow up on that, Coach mentioned specifically on-ball defense is something he saw you guys struggling with a bit. What do you think of the defense overall tonight?
Good at times. When we're locked in, you know, I think we're helping too much a little bit sometimes. And then other times just relying on the help and letting blow-bys happen instead of just guarding the ball. But, you know, like I said, you know, we have a lot to learn from. It was good to play against the other team. And, you know, I'm sure we're going to go over film and see the areas that we can improve tomorrow.
All right, next up, we have Dwayne Rankin with Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Brendan Clean.
Yes, Devin, what did you think of Langston Galloway coming off the bench and playing as well as he did in that second half?
I mean, not a surprise to me. I've played against him many times. And after sitting a couple hours through halftime and come in, with the flamethrower like that, it just shows, the skill and the professionalism and the readiness out of him. He's been in this league for quite some time now, and he knows what he's doing out there. So, I'm sure he's comfortable. Obviously, our first game back, new team, new environment, but, if you can get a bucket, you can get a bucket.
And just to follow that up, I saw you and Chris on the bench talking to each other, having fun. But I'm sure there was some conversations about the game. What were you two going over and observing what was happening?
Just making reads on how we're gonna play. Chris, is gonna have his opinion, his advice, and he's another set of eyes out there, and one of the best basketball minds to play. So, just reading how defensive guards see what's going on. Playing these teams a lot, you see a lot of similar things, but being on the same team, talking through is a good thing, and that's what we've been doing.
All right, next up, we have Brendan Clean with Bright Side of the Sun, followed by Kellen Olsen.
Maybe I'm reading too much into this, Devin, but it did feel like you guys, even the starters without Chris being in there, kind of came out and you were finding each other on cuts, kind of playing, moving the ball well. Does it feel like maybe having with Mikal and DeAndre playing together a few seasons now that doesn't take as long to catch back up with each other, even though there has been a layoff?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of growing, that's part of building. We took a step forward in the bubble, and we've talked about that and want to improve on, what we did down there. So we have a different group, different guys, but our core guys that were here through the bubble, we know what it takes, and the guys that we added do too. It's just finding, how we're going to build together and, how we're going to keep this thing rolling.
All right, next up, we'll actually go to Dave King with Bright Side of the Sun. He'll be followed by Dwayne Rankin.
Hey, Book, tell us what you thought about DeAndre Ayton's play tonight. He had a double-double in the game in short minutes, like you, with the, in the starting lineup. How do you think he's going to play this year with Chris Paul, and how do you think he looked tonight?
I think he's going to be a force. I think with Chris, leading him and communicating with him the whole time alongside myself, drawing gravity, to open things up for him. But, I like when he's aggressive. He can shoot it, he can shoot it in spots, but, when he puts it on the ground and puts his body on somebody, he's tough to guard. They're going to have to foul him. So, you've seen spurts to that tonight, and you're going to continue to see so because, we're going to stay on him and make sure, he's being dominated.
All right, next up, we'll go to Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Yes, Devin, wanted to speak to the depth. I know I asked you about Langston, but Etuan played well off the bench also. When putting the roster together, that was part of the plan. Okay, let's just get deeper. Let's have more options. How nice was it to see that even when you're without three key guys, other guys playing well?
I mean, that's the NBA. You have talented guys all over. And I love having that, not only for the games, but, for practices. And granted, through the NBA season, a lot of things happen, injuries, now sickness, missing games. So, just be preparing for all that, all the uncertainty that can happen throughout a season, and having depth and having professionals on your team can help you a lot, big time with that.
All right, Dwayne, if you have one more question, go ahead.
The only other thing was this setup that you guys had in the bubble. Obviously, it was like 3 gyms, and this is the first time playing with the pandemic at another arena. What was that like? Because it's even a bigger situation, a few fans in the stands. I mean, what did that play into the environment at all for you? I just was curious about how you felt about being in that environment.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different. I think Utah is one of the very few teams that, I think they had 1,500 in here tonight. So, just having a few people in there was good, but, it's different. The bubble was with smaller quarters. They kind of fit with no fans, but, it is big open space, but you just have to navigate it, and we're gonna have to work through it. So whatever they're doing fan wise, I'm sure they'll be updating it throughout the season. But we have to, control what we can control, and that's winning basketball games and getting better as a team.
All right, thanks, Book.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep. All right, hey Cam.
What's going on?
We'll go ahead and get started here with Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Okay.
Obviously, Cam getting the start tonight. How did it feel? And I know you said you wanted to mirror Chris. How you think you did in that department?
I ain't do good enough. We didn't get the win, so I really wasn't proud of my performance. Feel like I could have been better, need to be better. But it's just the first game. Get the rust out. Get another day to get better. Play them in the Dallas tomorrow, so I get another opportunity.
I was curious about your overall assessment of the team in the game. Obviously, started fast. Monty talked about conditioning. You're obviously playing at upper altitude. They got a decent lead. You guys made some runs to get back in. How would you assess the game overall for you guys?
The conditioning part is tough. Like you said, the altitude. But that's out of our control. We gotta be able to play. We gotta be able to get stops. We gotta be able to run our stuff, get easy baskets the same way they did. But like I said, we get to go back tomorrow. We definitely worked on our conditioning tonight. But we get to go in tomorrow, learn about all the mistakes we made, and get better. That's what it's all about. That's what the training camp preseason is all about, to get ready for the 23rd.
All right, we'll go up next with Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Cam, Monty mentioned that there's this process you guys go through when the offense stagnated a bit, but then he really liked how you guys responded to the feedback from the coaches. Can you talk a little bit about how that process goes down for you guys in the middle of a game?
Sometimes we get in the game and we just kind of play, but sometimes we have to get back to our structure when we're not making baskets, just to try to get easy baskets. You always want to get an easy 2, easy 4, especially when you're not scoring. So in one of the timeouts, he put on emphasis, and in halftime, he put on emphasis on running our stuff, on makes and misses, like getting into our stuff, being better, because that's what we work on in practice. So we just got to keep working. A lot of people learning, a lot of new plays for a lot of new players, and we still trying to get a vibe with each other on the team. So it's just a little tough, but that's why we work every day to get better at it.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go back over to Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, Cam, I was curious in terms of the environment. You guys were in the bubble. It was pretty compact. It was blacked out background, and even if fans were in there, you wouldn't be able to see them. This is back to open space, but they had like 1,500 fans or so. I mean, what do you think of the environment? How much different was that from the bubble?
I feel like the environment was like totally different. I mean, just the fact you get to get on the home court, big arena, it automatically feels like you in it. They had their fans, a couple fans in there. I mean, it was all good. It felt like a regular NBA game to me. Obviously they didn't have that many fans, but it kind of felt like a regular NBA game, and the vibe was cool. It's just gonna be something to get used to. The fact that it ain't black around all the way around is definitely different. But it's cool to be back in the NBA arenas and playing at everybody's home arena.
And just to follow that up, curious your thoughts on Galloway and Etuan and how they played, and then we saw you and Javon together and making some things happen. You feel like you guys could have done even more? I'm just curious how you feel like you and Javon looked, and then Langston and Etuan.
I felt like we definitely could have did even better. Like I said, the altitude and our conditioning, not playing games. Obviously, it's a different field, so we were kind of winded. But Langston came in big time. came in 2 threes back to back and 1 3. He came in and played very well. Each one as well, made some big time shots, tough shots over defenders. I mean, we just gotta find our niche. Like me and JC, we know our niche. Like LG and each one find their niche. But I feel like the way we play, we may all be in the game at the same time. It's just a lot of defense. I feel like defense is what it's all about. The offense gonna take care of itself. But we gotta defend, stay out of foul trouble, and just make teams work. Both guys, all 4 of us. Man, however the lineups turn out, that's how it's gonna be. But we're all playing well. But like I said, LG and each one, they played great tonight, and we're gonna need them to play great for us to be championship contenders.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cam.
Thank you.